Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and welcome to this week's episode of Stompbox Saturday. Avert your eyes, or at least protect them, because today we're taking a listen to the Stone Burner subatomic fuzz from Way Huge Electronics. Why would anyone need to avert their eyes to a fuzz pedal? Those of you in the know, or at least fans of Frank Herbert's Dune series of novels, will no doubt recognize the reference to the Stone Burner from Dune Messiah, the unbelievable weapon of destruction that causes young Paul Atreides, or at this point in the saga, not so young Paul Atreides, to lose his blue-hued eyes. However, he does not lose his sight. Anyway, sci-fi tangents aside, in the Stone Burner subatomic fuzz from Way Huge, we have what I would basically classify as a MXR blue box taken to its most extreme. And I love the MXR blue box, and you should too. So we're gonna take a listen to this today, but first let's talk about the knobs and switchies on this thing so that we know exactly what we're getting into when we play this. Thankfully, George Trips is not one for super complex pedal layouts. We have 4 knobs and 1 switch. The big ones are the volume and sub controls, the small ones are the tone and fuzz, and we have 2 options for sub-octave fuzz madness. Now, volume is pretty self-explanatory, tone is pretty self-explanatory, fuzz is pretty self-explanatory. They're on almost every fuzz, distortion, and overdrive pedal that has been made since forever. But the sub control and the sub toggle switch is something a little bit different. The sub is essentially a mix control to add in the sub octave to your fuzz signal. The 2 different voices on the sub toggle are 1 octave below your original note and 2 octaves below your original note. So if you want to just create some really dense octave fuzz madness and go for that 2 octaves below blue box kind of thing, but with a fuzz sound that is just rip snorting good, you can go ahead and do that. Or maybe you want to keep it in the normal bass range with 1 octave below. You can do it, and it's very easy to do. So we just need to hear it now. Now, of course, I think the best way to test out a fuzz pedal is in front of an amp that's getting a little bit crunchy. So we're sticking with the orange rock reverb for this one. I don't know why you people want to hear fuzz pedals in front of clean amplifiers. I can attest this does sound good in front of a decently clean amplifier, but you want your amp on the edge of breakup for this. But the first thing I want to show you is just how good the fuzz on its own is. We're gonna turn down that sub control and just have a little bit of fun, turning the fuzz control, sweeping the tone control, and just, as a fuzz pedal, this thing rules. Now it's time to unleash the sub-octave fury. Kick on the stone burner, flick that sub toggle, and see exactly what is going on here. One of the things that absolutely blows me away about the stone burner is how the sub octave just kind of has a mind of its own. The MXR Blue Box is kind of like that as well. It just kind of does what it wants to do. But there's something about this, the way that the fuzz is voiced with the sub octave effect, it just feels right for someone like me. And with all that said, let's just come up with some settings, plug in a few different guitars, and have some fun. Or cause some chaos and whatever. As stated previously, I am a huge fan of the MXR Blue Box, and this setting with Stone Burner I feel gives me a refined version of that sub 2 octave fuzz effect. I am going to run this in front of the dirty channel on my Rockverb. The gain is just set straight up at 12 o'clock here, so it's fairly crunchy, but I am not one for subtlety. So let's do this. your tastes lean more towards the stratty side of the guitar spectrum and you like single coil pickups, and you also appreciate a subtle sub-octave effect, this setting with a Stoneburner is quite a fun one to play with. Adding a little bit of heft underneath those high notes really helps things flesh out. He's got out the bass 6. It's gonna be too muddy. It's gonna be too chaotic. Don't do it, Sean. Nope, I'm gonna do it. And I like this because it's fun. Fuzz and bass. You bassists need to start using more dirt. My friends, that is the Stoneburner Subatomic Fuzz from Way Huge. I don't think I can gush about this enough. This is kind of everything I've wanted from an MXR Blue Box, a sub-octave fuzz. Lots of great fuzz sounds just on its own, but a lot more control over that low-end growl that comes from the pitch shifting. The pitch shifting is a bit erratic, but that's one of the things that I love about it. It's chaotic. It's not doing it 100% the way that you want it done all the time. It's always surprising you. Sometimes we need a little bit of chaos in our musical creation in order to inspire us. Sometimes we have to wrangle the Shai-Hulud and we have to be able to ride the sandworm. Well, it might take you a bit, but I'm having a lot of fun nonetheless. And I hope you enjoyed this listen to this beautiful little box. If you had any other questions about it or you want to hear something else from it, let me know in the comments section down below and I'll see what I can do for each and every one of you. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I sure enjoyed making it for you. I would greatly appreciate it if you supported the channel and helped it to grow by clicking the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. It's a very small thing, but trust me, it really does help out. But if you'd like to go further than that, join my email list. Not only do I send links to videos just like this direct to your inbox, but I keep you up to date on things that are happening in my musical world. And if you want to help support the channel monetarily, you can always use the affiliate links that are in the description box down below. Each purchase that you make with those affiliate links earns me a small commission so that I can keep the lights on here in the studio and keep creating great content for you all. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the Stoneburner Fuzz. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Stompbox Saturday. Until then, I wish you all great tone, great health, and happy stomping. Cheers, friends. God bless.